Hello there, BoBo the Bitcoiner is back. Can you believe Bitcoin was conceptualized as far back as 100 years ago? Hard to believe, huh? People say Satoshi Nakamoto must be a genius to invent the Bitcoin network. Actually, he do not invent every part of the system. It's a cumulative of previous brilliant mind and thoughts that combine into this invention. Of course, credit must go to Satoshi for putting all the brilliant thoughts together and make it work. Not that previous conceptions and aspiration could not work, but at that time technology has not reached its magnitude. Satoshi happened to come in at the right time where he managed to put all the previous puzzle together, accumulating into a highly functional programming, the Bitcoin ecosystem. Here are some of the brilliant minds before. Okay. Almost 100 years ago, Nikola Tesla, born in 1856 and died in 1943 before the World War II. In an interview in 1926, described wireless web in great detail. He details smartphone that could fit into a vest pocket and allow communication using voice and video. 1926, Tesla predicted wireless newspaper, live streaming and video conferencing. He described the ability to send documents, music and video around the world. He predicted the Internet of Things, self-driving cars, autonomous drones, and robots. Isn't that interesting? 100 years ago, my friend. Of course, he invented the AC air conditioner and actually believed that we could create abundant and free energy for everybody on earth. People elsewhere should have free energy, he said. Electric power is everywhere present in unlimited quantity and can drive the world's machinery without the need of coal, oil, or gas. All of Tesla work is actually being gatekeeping by the FBI. For what reason? Nobody knows. The FBI took all his paper, all his works, believed to be 80 books and the binders full of documents, and did not release to the public. Tesla predicted machine or intelligent machine with minds would actually compete against each other for maximum rate of energy delivery. Amazing, huh? It sounds like Bitcoin's proof of work mining today. Even more astonishing, he said this would end the war or bloodshed and bring about the global peace. exactly what Bitcoin is meant to achieve now. Then we have Henry Ford. Okay. Henry Ford revolutionized the fourth technology by creating the automobile and the combustion engine. He said, if I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. He was one of the first to have predicted an energy-backed money would replace gold and solve wars. In 1921, 112, 2 years now, on the New York Times, he said, the essential evil of gold in its relationship to war is the fact that it can be controlled. Break the control and you stop the war. He also said that energy currency could be issued only to a certain definite amount and for the specific purposes. He also said that under the energy currency system, the standard should be a certain amount of energy exerted for 1 hour that would be equal to $1. That essentially is saying you can't print new currency out of thin air. This is quite crazy, huh? 102 years ago, Ford predicted all these things. And Ford was born in 1863. He died in 1947 at the age of 93. So we have two persons now who predicted 100 years ago some indication or possibility of Bitcoin. Then we have this, who is that? Buckminster Fuller. Okay. Buckminster Fuller in 1960, 5 decades ago, said by 2018, a realistic scientific accounting system would serve what is wealth. He wrote more than 30 books on science, inventions, governance, and the future. He said he was an American architect, a system theorist, writer, designer, inventor, philosopher, and a futurist. He died in 1983. He was one of the early visionaries to predict something that is almost Bitcoin, an energy-backed system. Then you have Frederick Hayek. 1984, he quoted, "Before we take the things out of the hands of the government, and then, but then we can't take that violently. All we can do is by some slide around the password and to do something so that they can't stop you." Hayek is essentially predicting what is Bitcoin, a sly roundabout way. One of his favorite quotes, "I do not think that it is an exaggeration to say history is largely full of inflation." And usually inflation's engineered by the government for the interest and gain of the government. Another of his famous quote is, if socialists understand economic, they won't be called socialist. All right. And finally, we have Milton Friedman, who said in 1999, the internet is going to be one of the major force for reducing the role of government. The one thing that is missing, but that will soon develop, is a reliable e-cash, a method where on the internet you can transfer funds from A to B without A knowing B or B knowing A. One of his famous quote, inflation is taxation without legislation. Inflation is a monetary phenomenon. It is made by or stopped by the central government. In 1997, in 1997, there was a book called Sovereign Individual. They predict this: an unique, anonymous, and verifiable, this money will accommodate the largest transaction. It will also be divisible into the tiniest fraction of value. It will be tradable at a keystroke in a multi-trillion-dollar wholesale market without borders. In this book, he predicted the metaverse, the digital currency, the rise of e-commerce, rising income inequality, virtual culture, digital banking, internet via mobile. Remember, in 1997, we didn't even call internet. We called it WWW, World Wide Web at that time. He predicted so many things even before the dot-com era, not to mention the smartphone much later. Cyberspace is the ultimate offshore jurisdiction, all right, an economy with no taxes, when the greatest tax haven of them all is fully open for business. All funds will essentially be offshore and at the discretion of its owner. This will have cascading consequences. The state has grown used to treating its taxpayer as cow as cow, keeping them in the field to be milked. Soon the cow will have wings. In the future, one of the milestones by which you measure your financial success will not be just how many zeros you can add to your net worth, but whether you can structure your affairs in a way that enables you to realize full individual autonomy and independence. As Jason Lowry was recently laid out in a book called Soft War, which actually predicts the nation states in the future will be projecting kinetic energy upon each other through trying to accumulate more Bitcoin mining hash power. There's one thing in common in all these smart, brilliant people. They all hate establishment. They all understand technology, and they all predicted energy money. They all talk about the absence of gold, or the essence of gold, and how in its relationship to war, through power hungry and corruption. What about the prediction for the future? I don't see any brilliant mind predicting revolutionary ways of payment transaction. Many talk about advanced AI, machine learning, Internet of Things enabled, contactless payment, near field communication, NFC, initiated by voice, biometric and social media account, cryptocurrency, cloud-based payment, and many other improvement, but none can think or ever think of a better Bitcoin ecosystem. Looks like the Bitcoin network were going to last us for the next 100 years at least. As of now, nobody is predicting any better Bitcoin system. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. See you next time. Bye-bye.